Could be. Could be a Mass Ross Bloodseeker. We never know.
Dire team ban.
It's KMP. I don't think they're ever gonna.
Probably can.
If
Yeah, it's probably
KMP's
can. Yeah.
in the game, they have a Bloodseeker. He is definitely asking for it, and I'm still always under the opinion that Pango can play into the Bloodseeker okay, especially I think there's multiple ways to look at it. We'll try and go through it real quick.
10
Is that
seconds remaining.
if you're played as a support, like your real big value is just
5
rolling thunder,
seconds
and Bloodseeker
remaining.
can heavily counter you with Rupture, makes it very difficult for you to be able to play the game. Often you like kind of lowering the priority on heroes because if they are heavily countered, you don't want to put them in a core role. But I think Pango's not really one of those heroes. I think you can do a lot against the Bloodseeker with farm. You can go Lincoln's
Radiant
first
team
item if that
ban.
needs to be the case. If you have other heroes to initiate, you can go Blink, Shard, yours, which really all you have to do is chain stun a couple of times and your job is done. You won't really be moving too much, so the Rupture's not going to do a lot of damage. You'll still get value out of it. So I do really think the Pango, it's
10 seconds
an
remaining.
awkward matchup, but like all Pango matchups, I think you can still definitely play into
5
it.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, and you're still against a Storm Spirit, right?
Dire
So as long as
team
you're able to
ban.
get that initial burst and lockdown and whatever, then unless Storm Spirit has the BKB, you're going to, with, for example, a Diffusal Blade, be able to do a decent amount. Honestly, even with the Bloodseeker, right? Not the greatest mana pool. That's why when it initially came out, for example, Gleipnir providing a lot of
10
intelligence
seconds
over to the
remaining.
Bloodseeker just through that Rod of Atos, really did help him. You know, it's an
5
item that you look
seconds
to go for
remaining.
when you're casting a lot of spells pretty frequently, and that's exactly what Bloodseeker does. So honestly, Diffusal for this Pango, not too bad either.
Yeah, I think the Storm matchup can also go back and forth for Pango. Just
Mm.
it's always nice to be able to have an instant way to get onto this hero to prevent Rolling Thunder, so Storm can find him on the back line. But then it goes insane. Like Pango, very good for the chain control. You've got, like you said, Diffuser Blade. So I'm always a big fan in games where we have these matchups where it's not 90-10 favored for one person. It can be 60-40. They can have timings where maybe in the lane you're a little bit more favored, or an item can be
Radiant
huge for
team
you to kind of
ban.
turn the matchup like that.
Dire team
You
ban.
briefly turned robot, but I think you're back. You're good again, so
Hello,
no worries
123
there.
robot checking in.
Tiny bit of robot, tiny bit of robot. Don't know why our ping on Discord is so high. Both in the same city. But all right, how we got for the rest of this draft? Anything that's just going to reduce mobility. Honestly, they could just Treant Protector again, right? Into the Bloodseeker and the Storm Spirit. It's great to be able to provide that extra layer of make it harder for the Bloodseeker to kill you, and then even if you pop those BKBs, you got the Overgrowth to have that turnaround factor. Wouldn't hate it. Even just getting rid of the Night Stalker, right? Prevents from being able to dive onto the Grimstroke, would provide the vision into the trees to prevent something like a Treant Protector from having that impact. Don't know if you want to pick it yet. Maybe you do. What position ones potentially could be
5
good
seconds
against
remaining.
the Bloodseeker carry-to-carry matchup and against the Storm Spirit. I think it just needs to be something that's capable of connecting on that instant stun very, very quickly. Have a
How,
bit of a try, Mr. Robot Man.
how are we doing? We still robody?
No, you're good.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I would not hate if they go back into the tree. I think we're really seeing how strong this
Radiant team
overgrowth can
pick.
be, even though it's. I think this hero overall has a lot of weaknesses as well. You can get slightly ran over. I think you need some time where the power of the tree defending towers can come online. If you lose those early tier ones, it doesn't feel like your toolkit is as impactful. But overgrowth has a bit
10
of a
seconds
cooldown. We've
remaining.
seen a lot of position fives. They need that blink to really have the
5
impact through
seconds
fights. But
remaining.
I feel like good Treant Protectors, they don't get too greedy with the overgrowth. They'll use it on a couple of pickoffs, like skirmishes across the map, getting value out of it, and then going from there. But
Radiant team
I
pick.
wonder. Oh, we're just back into the shaman. Shaman, I don't think you. I think you really need a strong laning position for. Shaman definitely can be that, but I'd be worried about double range if it is going to be a Storm Spirit off. So I'd like them to go a melee here on Motivate.
10 seconds remaining.
I know it's potentially a campy Bloodseeker, but Shaman Bloodseeker is a strong
5
lane as well,
seconds
right? Just
remaining.
very easy to set up for the Blood Rights. So I still honestly feel like it is an option. So they're more likely to be revealing what this position 5 is going to be now for Motivate Trust. What exactly do they need? Honestly, it's not a bad Rubik game. Like, I know it's a very greedy position 5, but you've got a lot of great spells to be able to steal. And even, having the potential to flex this Shaman to being the 5, Rubik 4, exactly the same thing that I was talking about, right? With the Blood Right. Telekinesis, there's not going to be too much that the enemy team can do to be able to prevent you from having a higher level of impact with that.
Do you feel like they would have concerns on the lanes though if they go for the Rubik?
Dire team pick.
No.
Vengeful spirits.
Hey. A little bit of extra survivability, perhaps, for with the overgrowth. Guarantee that people take more damage, just rupture them and swap them. Maybe even anticipating, because what I was thinking for Army Geniuses was they might go something
10
like the Monkey
seconds
King into
remaining.
this, so it's just capable of standing as ground in team fighting.
5
You've got two
seconds
heroes at the
remaining.
moment that are great at holding people in place, Treant with the Overgrowth, Pango with the Chain Stuns with the Rolling Thunder. And I mean, it's a strong lane as well if you're looking to put the Grimstroke there with the Monkey King. It's into the Storm Spirit. You can look to get kills early if it's into the Bloodseeker. Pretty
Radiant
decent at
team
trading
ban.
against a melee matchup.
Ember spirit.
It's going to go Ember though. Good pairing with the Grim, I suppose.
Ember vs Bloodseeker can be a bit awkward though if you do get ruptured, and especially now you
Yeah.
you do show that you show your mid matchup. At least you show your hero, and
10
if it's going to be
seconds
Storm Spirit
remaining.
mid, he's happy with playing into the Ember. So this does maybe give Motivate
5 seconds remaining.
some confidence to give Gacha Boy the Storm Spirit this game. Of course, Fearless Gacha Boy is one of the better Storm Spirits in C, so I would not be surprised if they think about going down that route.
The thing I'm concerned about for Army Geniuses in particular is where is your tower push? It is not there right now. There is no Medusa. There is. I guess there are a few heroes left remaining for it. The Terrorblade, the
Dire
Tiny's
team
not in the
ban.
pool, but Wraith King gone. Don't hate that either, right? Just to be able to, you have to use a lot of mana to be able to kill him once with the Storm Spirit. Seeker as well probably needs to pop the BKB. You need to use a lot of spells. So yeah, I don't hate the Wraith King, but they just need something that's able to just stand and man fight. I
10
still
seconds
feel
remaining.
pretty bullish about the Monkey King. Even worst case
5
scenario, you drop the
seconds
Wukongs on the
remaining.
high ground when you're looking to push into it. You'll need to avoid the Venge swap for sure, but you can
Radiant
just look
team
to
ban.
particularly position the Wukongs to prevent that from having as much of a factor.
Dire team ban.
I don't
Yep.
know.
All the big power pushes being removed right now.
I don't know if this was something because of the previous game and it was just a perfect game for Army Geniuses, but I want to see how much they value the Naga. Because I'd really like this game for them. I think Motivate with
10
their Venge
seconds
Shaman
remaining.
support duo more than likely. Very single target. Bloodseeker's
5
okay with
seconds
Maelstrom.
remaining.
Storm's okay as well, but Song would be really, really nice to be able to set up for fights. I think it's a strong lane combo with the Grim. You're wanting a little bit of
Radiant
an
team
agi hero
pick.
as well, just so the Venge Wave of Terror is not an issue. I don't know how much they value it though. The only reason I bring it up is because we did see them played in phase 1.
Yeah. What's the what are your thoughts on this Beastmaster ban? What do you think it's protecting? The ones that
10
stand out are
seconds
like, the
remaining.
Ursa, little bit, Faceless Void,
5
Sven,
seconds remaining.
Well,
but
Dire
doesn't really
team
feel
pick.
like it's the greatest game for those. Okay.
think it was just you Motivate could have pushed the tempo a lot. Bloodseeker as a core can come online like Maelstrom BKB. You got Venge that has a lot of impact early. Serpent Wards plus another pushing hero, and I think
10
Army
seconds
Geniuses
remaining.
like they are pretty happy going to the later stages, and maybe they were
5
thinking about
seconds remaining.
a late game carry as well. I think Naga looks
Even the
even better.
Monkey.
I'm
I mean,
Naga.
both are good. Both are good. Both are good. Both are good.
No. I think your Monkey Core's trash. I like it versus the rupture. I think it's nice to be able to stand your ground. My only concern is swap. That's it. So they go another illusion
Choose
route.
your hero.
We really don't see Phantom
Don't you
Lancer.
try and claim that.
I'm not
But
gonna claim it.
yeah,
No. I'll claim a little bit about the illusions. That's all I'll claim. Um, yeah, that
whenever
is.
I see a Shadow Shaman, PL is always the one that I look at, to be honest, just because any kind of like um Nether Ward or Tombstone or Mass Serpent Wards, PL is fantastic at being able to deal with. A lot of his illusions just immediately rip through those. It means that you're able to take advantage of a team fight very effectively. Doesn't amazingly solve their tower push issue, and you're not a hero really that can just stand and fight. Like if you find the real one and you rupture him, you can doppelganger, but you're still just going to be pretty damn obvious with exactly where you are. So that's what I'm a little bit concerned about. And there isn't exactly a ton of kill threat either in the laning stage. Basros, he's playing the Doom, a lot more of that defensive, not defensive, but greedy style of hero, with needing to go into the Midas to get value out of the Devour. I don't think PL is going to be able to really take advantage of that.
Take advantage of what specifically? Sorry.
Killing him while he's trying to be greedy.
Okay. For me, I think this game, I think Gacha Boy has got a pretty free game to be able to take over. Mid matchup's very favorable for the Storm Spirit. There's not a lot of control that he has to be worried about. Of course, there's going to get to a stage where PL is a bit of an issue that you can't deal with. They will have Blink on Pango and maybe a follow-up at Inkswell, and I think that's really their condition to kill Gacha Boy this game, but he's an incredible Storm Spirit player, and I think that's the person we're looking at here to hold the tempo, because you, like you said, you have a greedy position 3. Doom is someone who's going to go Midas, Max Devour, look to try and skyrocket his farm, so eyes on Storm Spirit and how much he can get out of this, because I think he can take over this game.
And I don't want to see a 4-star this game from Narman. I think the Blink Dagger is so essential, right? Like the
Prepare for
Bloodseeker's
battle.
going to be running in afterwards. You're going to eventually have a team fight that doesn't start out well for you. Either they catch out your PL or whatever else, right? And just to be able to jump in and get that immediate turnaround to set up for something like the Rolling Thunder, to enable an Ember Spirit to be able to join in, I feel like it's going to have a pretty decent impact there.
All right, where we putting our chips though in our second game? Can Army Geniuses take the first 2-0 of Phase 2, or do we believe in Motivate to be able to tie the series?
I like Motivate's draft, but I liked it in game 1, and their execution really let me down. So I'm a little lost, to be honest. You first.
I'm gonna go Army
30
Geniuses.
seconds to
I like the PL pick a lot. I don't know how much value they're gonna get out of the Doom at the later stages. Although I wonder, because I think you're gonna be able to take the Ember and Pango out of the equation if Doom gets really farmed at the late game. But of course, Mastros need to have a really good game to find those double Dooms. Of course, Lincoln's could be a bit of an issue, but yeah, I think their execution lately has been a little bit more on the rougher side for Motivate. So I'll give Army Genius just a slight victory, a slight advantage.
I'll say Army Geniuses as well, just because not because Leaf was about to die, but I feel like the way for Motivate to be able to get this one is just how they're going to be able to respond to this PL, right? Like you might get lucky, but I don't want to with Storm zipping onto the right one, catching out the right one, getting the Doom on the right one. I think you need a Shiva's Guard on Masros here. It's going to be good against the eventual Inkswell healing that's coming through. It's good against the Treant Protector with all of his healing that he's got. It's going to reveal the real PL, or at least clear out a good portion of the illusions along with your Scorched Earth. But I previously said you just need this item, or you need this this skill timing coming through, and they didn't achieve that. And as a result, the laning stage, for example, snowballed out of control. So I feel like Army Geniuses just feel that little bit more stable when compared with Motivate.Trust, and what's their decision-making matches up more with mine, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
So why do you feel like Army Geniuses have given Narman the Treant Protector once again? Is it a dynamic of their team in general, or is there something that the tree does a little bit better in the off lane instead of on Varese in the safe lane?
I think this game in particular, it's just a better hero at being able to zone out and protect someone like Wami, who is still going to be a little bit squishy in those first few levels. Unfortunately, not able to get the range creep there on Leaf. But yeah, I mean, Wami is still very vulnerable super early on until he gets those reduced cooldowns from having, more points into the Swashbuckle and the Shield Crash there.
And they might get aggressive. They know the Shield Crash is on cooldown, and Wami unfortunately is still only level 1, so a lot of damage onto the Pangolier at the early stages, but he does at least have that extra ability now to work with the Swash.
And I suppose the other reason for that for Narman is that
Someday repay.
it's always good to just get that tiny little bit of extra farm coming through on the Tree and Protector, particularly, as I was saying before, when you've got such a key need for
Radiant's
this
turret
Blink Dagger
has been
timing.
killed.
KMP, he's going to be the one taking a little bit of harassment, though. He'll eventually get it back. I mean, you're a Bloodseeker, right? Just a few last hits, and you're right as rain.
You're right as rain.
Yep. Okay. You have to know some sayings, man. Not everything is TikTok.
What?
Pointers.
What are you implying? My livelihood?
I'm saying you're
my
attached
life?
to technology, young man.
TikTok is definitely entertaining, but it
Radiant's
is
bottom tower is under attack.
I have a limit on my TikTok and how long I can spend time on it. I'll make sure.
Did your mum set parental controls for it?
Oh, I actually set my own parental controls. Does that
Radiant's
show
turret has
some
been killed.
Topside.
maturity? Top lane? Grimstroke should be okay, although Mastros does have 2 points in the Scorched Earth and Tigger still holding the other shock, so good start for Motivate. It's a bit of a different offlane than what we got previously, and they're looking to try and get some revenge with DB winning prior.
Always great when you're able to get a lane like that, especially when you've got this Doom, right? Not the strongest laner. He's got the Hill Troll Priest? No. Yes, Hill Troll Priest. Previously he gave that mana regen aura, which would have been nice for particularly
On the lane,
Tigger.
we got
if he was
some,
able
we've
to
got
get
some
those
brawling
references.
going on. Wami with 2 points in the shield crash would be enough burst to get rid of the life for Leaf, but KMP should be able to trade the kill. He's got 2 points in thirst, so we'll have enough movement speed to chase down Narma. They'll make him work for it, but KMP is able to hit the board.
And also, Wami ended up losing a few creeps underneath this tier 1 tower
On
as
top
well.
lane,
so-
DB. He's onto Tigger. They actually want to try and stand their ground in man fight. Mastros with the Scorched Earth activated. So DB's going to try and retreat thanks to the slow from Varese, but maybe they just turn to the Grimstroke instead. A couple more right clicks, but they will not get it.
Very important that he survives there, just because he'd previously just TP'd back out. He would have had to make a little bit of that walk of shame, and DB just had no HP. So to be able to get that salve off onto him, it's a really big
They're
deal.
diving mid. Gotcha boy. Under the pump, Narman's rotation to refill the bottle along with getting the kill onto Gotcha boy is huge. Really nicely done. You wouldn't expect that, but an aggressive glyph from Army Genius has really enabled that attempt.
Pays off heavily. Been looking to give him over the tango there. Going to try and push this wave in a little bit further. They even get the D-ward on Narman, so great use of that Tree and Protector rotation. It's
Cool to see Narman and how he does play this Stream Protector. Of course, we see mainly T1 are the only team that like to run it on the position 4. Of course, they have Flex with Whitemon and Zephyr, but Fnatic only give it to Januel. A majority of the time, we've seen a Bang pretty much the only one playing it again. Narman's mid. And now you have the Remnants on Azura. TP's starting to come out, but the burst is too much for them to deal with, so you trade the life, but he just TP'd back to the lane, and I mentioned that I think the Storm Spirit's someone who can take over if he gets it, off to the early start, but these two deaths are really putting him in quite a difficult position to be able to capitalize.
Yeah, for sure. They are looking to keep the pressure up on the side lanes, though, particularly with the Tree and Protector dying.
It's top lane where the aggression is.
Turnaround, though.
DB, still, they're going to have all the AoE damage to chase down the Phantom Lancer, but the Scorched Earth just giving him enough distance to evade into the tree line. Dude, Narman's doing it all.
Yeah, just coming in with that Leech Seed as well, right? Realizing that, kind of what I was saying before, that both drafts pretty lacking in tower push, so you don't really need the living armor. It's just about winning these laning stages to make sure that you're able to just be so much stronger to enable you to be the ones that are tower pushing with a relatively weaker pushing lineup. So 2 points in Leech Seed, 2 points in Nature's Grasp means that when he looks to join in, that Leech Seed healing was enough to keep DB healthy.
Dire are scanning.
Mastros are going to run to Varese solo in the river. Teetering on the edge, I think, going back and getting the stun, but they go for Mastros. This is a big cooldown expended. Mastros might be in trouble. He does read this well enough. They have Azura starting to swing to the area, has the Arcane in the arsenal. And there's going to be another hero that's killed out of the tower. Storm Spirit's going to attempt to TP in, but I don't think Storm Spirit can turn this around. Maybe with a zip, but wait, Mastros is not even dead just yet. Narman trying to close the distance. They won't find the Doom in the tree line, and now Azura is in trouble along with Varese. Gotcha, boy. Beautifully done. Just giving enough time and space for Masaros.
He did indeed. Narman eventually dropped that Observer Ward up on the high ground, but it was a little bit too late. Allowing him to get a little bit further of a juke away. He's still got that Hill Troll Priest creep devoured, so actually ended up healing himself twice to be able to survive.
Back onto Masaros.
Do it again.
Let's see, he does have
heal
a
master.
ability. Is it going to be enough? It looks like it's not. Narman tries to close the distance, the slows, but they don't have a zero with any remnants left. Look at all Narman, 3 points in the lead. See, now we can go back and have one swing on Tigger to cut away his life. In fact, it's Zura with a finishing blow as Army Geniuses finally will finish their meals top.
There's a lot of attention being taken away from this Bloodseeker, though. Already going to be able to get into that pretty early Maelstrom. He's got the Javelin component finished already, and this is another thing about the PL, right? Any kind of illusion-based hero. I was talking before about the Gleipnir for KNP and how effective it would be against the these mobility sort of heroes. The Ember Spirit, even the Pangolier, if you're able to catch him out before the Rolling Thunder starts. But in Maelstrom against, or eventually Gleipnir against a PL, pretty damn nice too. Certainly not a hero that you want to buy a BKB on, is that Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, definitely one of the heroes that tends to stay away from this item. But it's Army Geniuses smoking down bottom. Army's going to be in trouble, but he does have some reinforcements soon to show up. They'll get the kill on the Pangolier. They might turn it though. Wami's doing a good job to hold back. Gotcha, boy, but what a zip. Dodges the overgrowth, but still, Wami's not even dead. These points in Leech Seed, all of the sustain. It's something you wouldn't expect at this stage in the game, but it is paying off huge for Narman.
Even just the Urn of Shadows as well on top of that, right? Just all that additional bonus damage. You don't catch him out with the overgrowth, but yeah, Narman, he is coming in clutch this game.
He's going for a bit of an interesting Treant Protector build as well. It's going to be the Spirit Vessel as his first item. What do you feel like the reasonings are behind this?
Honestly, good question. I'm not that sure, as he's probably going to die here. Using the...
They want to take the fight, though. Azura gets a beautiful double stun. They're just a little bit too late with the Ink Swell, but there's not much mana for Gacha Boy to play with. Same with Azura.
Not much for Azura, though, either. Yeah, so he's going to have to back off, praying for the rune on the bottom side of the river. RNG's does not favor him. Even the regen rune, that would have been amazing. I'm trying to think for this Spirit Vessel what exactly they're looking to put it on. I mean, Bloodseeker. Not going to love it, I suppose, prior to the BKB. Just toss it onto him. You have no cleanse or purge or anything like that from the rest of the team. So it really forces him to go into that if he's looking to take any kind of team fights, because normally you love to man fight, right? You get those last hits onto heroes or creeps and you're able to regen up so much more of your health and be ready to continue fighting, but not so much if you've got a Spirit Vessel on you.
KMP is still getting a lot of farm throughout the early stages, and it is Motivate with this net worth lead, but we're continuing to see the aggression come from Army Geniuses. Top lane is where they're going to direct their forces off this smoke. Tigger once again is going to be killed off, and I don't think there's much Mastros can really do. He's threatening about stepping in, but Tigger nonetheless will die. Bottom, it's where Wami might be in trouble. Rupture's out early. Look at Leaf playing in the tree line. Beautifully done from this duo.
They ended up using the Rupture onto him just prior to the Swashbuckler as well, so ends up putting himself in the grave. I wonder exactly what PL's going to look to do here as well with the Diffusal. Is he going to try and get active, or... Honestly, it kind of even feels like a pseudo-farming item now, considering all of the spells that the neutral creeps were given. Means that they do end up falling a little bit quicker. You know, the Warpine Raiders, for example, just another hero that has... another neutral creep that has mana. You're able to more quickly take them down with the extra mana break damage that you've got.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about the defusal though early is just that you do have some way to show up in fights. Phantom Lancer for quite some time has just been a hero that
Dire are scanning.
you're farming for like the first 20 minutes, and even that you might not be getting too active. So
Radiant's middle
an
tower
early
is
diffusal
under
blade timing
attack.
just means you might be able to show up at the later stages. Look at this again though, and I think Dire were on point with the scan. So this is the second game in a row where they're unable to sneak Roche.
This time they take out the vision as well.
Oh no, gotcha boy. And now you have to stay in the pit though, because the Serpent Ones are still going to bring Roche down low. Off to the side, Wami gets solo killed. Gotcha Boy's going to jump, but he doesn't have too much mana. Now leashed together, a defensive swap. Do they have the damage? He's stuck in the grasp, and he ticks out afterwards. But
here.
Masaros has to set up for the Doom. Is there going to be the damage to go through the life? They're able to snag the Aegis on the Venge, but still it looks like Army Genius can stand their ground. They've got the items, and they have the numbers to be able to swarm the side of Motivators. DB can chase down KP. Well, he's pretty goddamn speedy. Just getting out the nick of time. Now back in the river, Varese. It's going to be killed off with one more right click, but it will come at a cost of the Venge's life, and they're not even done just yet. Chains is, oh, it's up from Azuri. It was just able to get in range, canceling the TP, and they'll add another one to the graph.
Those Mass Serpent Wards ended up finishing up the Roshan for Motivate.Trust, so they were able to get that and the Aegis, but much more importantly, so many heroes cleared out here, enabling them to go for this push on forward. And even with Gacha Boy TPing down towards the bottom side, they're finally thinking, great, we're able to take a tower.
Dire's bottom tower
Looking
is under
to make the
attack.
most out of that little advantage. They are making a few TP rotations towards this lane, but it's going to be a little bit too
Radiant's
late.
middle tower has fallen.
Still though, Radiant are going to hit a very, very big BKB timing. You got Masros working towards his with Devour and Midas. He'll get there pretty fast. KMP, well, but the kills that he keeps getting. Unfortunately, this time Narman's able to get back, although Gacha Boy that's going to look to jump. There you go. Storm Spirit's also getting close to the BKB. So 3 BKBs from Motivated is what I'm looking for them to really further this net worth lead.
Unfortunately, just spent a lot of that time under the Rupture running. Didn't run into the trees as well. The Nature's guys maybe would have been enough to be able to save him just for that little bit of extra regen. Maybe make the Storm Spirit have to hunt him a little bit further. But still, it's a Rupture used for a position 4, so you can't feel too salty about that. If you're Narman, he's only 150 gold away from picking up his Spirit Vessel. Very important that they get that and get use out of it before these BKBs
Radiant's
start to
bottom
become a
tower
factor
is under
on
attack.
Motivate.Trust side. We'll at least get
Radiant
this tier 1 tower on the
structures
bot
are
side as well.
fortified.
Pretty early Blink Dagger as well for Leaf. They do have ways to cancel it.
Gacha
They're
Boy.
playing Gacha Boy. Wami this time, first real big
Leaf,
value
Leaf,
out of the
Leaf.
Rolling Thunder, but Leaf beautifully positioned. He still has to deal with the Phantom's Embrace, and he doesn't have enough time, and now Leaf, well, he has put himself on a plateau as Wami. These are some huge kills for the Panclear, just getting him closer to that first big item in the Lincolns.
They're even picking out KNP on the top side. Azura feels like with this double damage, he's super capable of fighting.
He's dead.
Not wanting to go super early.
You just need to hold chains. He's already used it. Breeze should have the
Ink
ink
spell.
spell to be able to cancel it.
Came late.
Yo, that's... They got greedy. He used the chains before
Yeah.
Varese was there.
I think using the chains is fine. I think Varese was just a little bit slow on the ink spell. You got to make sure that it's there before the TP starts. 3-second TP, 3 seconds for ink swell to pop. Tiny bit off with the timing for probably only the first time or two in this game.
Stupendous.
The net worth lead, those... They're cutting the deficit on Army Geniuses. Again, it's just if Motivate can try and stall this out, which is an awkward position to be in, because stalling out a game where you're up against a Phantom Lancer is never going to feel nice, but I'm still looking towards these BKBs. Gacha Boy needs one component. Masteros needs his last component. KMP also needs his last component. So maybe Army Geniuses can use this to their advantage, where they know that the other side doesn't want to fight, but they are in kind of fighting shape on Army Geniuses.
There's pretty decent timing on the Lincoln's pickup from Wami as well, so doesn't need to be quite as worried about the... oh, if they found here. It's Narman on the top-hand side.
Give it to
He's got the
KMP.
Spirit Vessel fished up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just really wanting that BKB.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is all on if you
They're
cannot.
basically all at the exact same stage. The Doom, the Storm, and the Bloodseeker just are about 500 or so gold away from picking up their BKBs. So certainly look to see Motivate going for those aggressive plays in the next couple of minutes. Might try and get the tier 2 neutral items beforehand. Azura nearly hitting onto his as well. I think I look to try and go for a push here with the Mass Serpent Wars onto the tower. I'm not super confident about that. I mean, just finish up your BKBs. Like I said, you're all so close to being able to get it on Motivate's side.
Bottom lane, they're TPing for Gacha Boy. Armin's hunting the tree line.
no.
He's going to get vision. And Varese can fall with the control. We'll see if they're going to have the damage with this Ink
think they
Slot's
will.
doing way too much. And this is your duo supports getting a kill onto the Storm Spirit, just showing how important this BKB is going to be.
Honestly, having a little bit of recognition of the BKBs too, with Wami looking to go into the Basher as his next item. Azura having to be a little bit careful. He
wanna
got
fight,
given the
though.
Lincoln Spear.
Wami is enabled. Although, yeah, like you said, Lincoln's actually given over, so Wami's going to have to try and TP out. They got the vision, but unfortunately, Leaf just overstepping
Swap.
into the river. And now they're going to send the illusion to Masseros. The slows being an issue, tries to pump fake the Doom, but DB, quick on the fingers, able to reposition, so Masseros wasn't in range. And, well, there's your BKB timing for the Doom, and he doesn't get anything out of it.
Got Masseros pushing down here on the bottom side. Sorry, not Masseros, Narman. And he's looking to go into the Lotus Orb, just trying to protect
Dire's
his
top tower is under attack.
his Ember Spirit and Pangolier a little bit further in a lot of these team fights. Really not putting as much value on the Blink Dagger as I was expecting for the turnaround potential, but I suppose if the Pangolier is free to just do whatever the hell he wants, you don't really care all that much. Already need to kind of force out the swap first before you're able to use the Rupture onto him, just because of the fact that he's got this early-ish Lincoln Sphere.
Alright, they're going to circle Motivate. They do see two heroes underneath the Observer Ward. Right by the outpost, a beautiful placement. EP, high value
And he's
target if they
joining.
can get him. Armin's nearby to maybe counter-initiate. Great fingers on DB, but still, they might be in trouble.
Got him.
Falling lower and lower. They've got the connection. The Lincoln's trying to protect it for the moment. They're able to dodge the magic missile, but DB
Great
stuck
swap.
in the rupture. There's going to be no way the Phantom Lancer can escape it. Maybe Army Geniuses, after all the spells are being expended, they can still take the fight. Wami proving to be an issue with the Rolling Thunder. They still have a Zero playing to the northern side as well. He's got the Remnants along with the BKB. He's going to commit onto KMP. And the Bloodseeker swarming to the backline. He's killed off with ease. And now Gacha Boy, they still have the Doom though. Mastros using it the last second, but the damage to control lacking for the Ember Spirit. So they're just using it instead onto Wami. Serpent Ward shackles. Wami still to the northern side he goes. Gacha doesn't have the mana to continue the
Ember's
chase.
back in.
And Ember, he wants to pounce. Doom's expired. Wami's going to follow up, but he's off the mark. Lincoln's still protecting. Tigger, though, he's got a window. Lincoln's popped. It doesn't matter. They don't have cause to stand their ground. They need the damage that they'd be pumping out. Leaf, actually swap back out of the tower. Dude, this Lincoln's such an issue as Wami survives the whole fight along with Azura.
And they were fighting the entire time underneath their vision on that high ground as well, right? So just that little bit of extra information, allowing the Ember Spirit to not completely retreat away even after it copped the Doom to the face. Just playing on the top side, playing slightly away from the rest of the team. They almost got that follow-up onto Gacha Boy afterwards, but it was only a lack of remnants that prevented that.
And Azura got
Radiant's
800
middle
gold
tower is
off
under
that
attack.
fight. I think working on the Sunjin Kaya is going to pick this one up at a pretty good timing. And unfortunately, that was the BKBs that I was looking at for Motivate to be able to kind of put themselves in a position to take this second game.
Dire are scanning.
It was pretty good use of it. Honestly, it was a great swap as well, coming through from the Vengeful Spirit
They
onto Storm when he was caught in the Soulbind.
They don't have Doom. I don't know if they can take this fight. An early use of the
BKB
BKB.
with-
Lincoln's for the moment. It's going to be popped. Great target prioritization. They just kill off the PL. Not really a heavy commitment. Although Army Geniuses, we saw that what they could do prior with the numbers disadvantage. It's all eyes on Azura. Masteros has got the BKB. He will not be forced to use it into Wami. closes the distance. He's not worried about the rupture, which really enables the pain go, but Azura goes in afterwards. Maybe he's threatening. They're going to try and give him out the ink swell. Of course, it is the Aghanim shard. He's still got the BKB, so both supports are going to be targeted down at the moment. They have the control to be able to catch up to Leaf. They do at the front of the tier 3 tower, as they're going to be cautious as well. Narman pump faking the overgrowth. Is going to try and get to the middle. It holds back. They're bashing up. Doom's going to be killed off. They're even glyphing to try and get some extra damage, but it is doing nothing as Army Geniuses again surrounding Motivate on their side of the map.
Barely able to get away as well, just with the overgrowth wasting 4 seconds of that BKB timer on KNP meant that he just had enough time to be able to get the TP back to base afterwards. It was literally a couple of milliseconds before the BKB expired, and they would have had the lockdown for him afterwards with the Searing Chains.
And now these past couple of fights, especially down bottom, Army Genius has been flexing their muscles at how incredibly strong they are at this stage of the game. And that was a fight where we did not see, or mid lane. Gotcha, boy. Okay, swap at the last second. You see, Azura tried to drop the remnants. They just offered the burst, but yeah, you spoke about the bash. Swami going for the second item here in the Skull Basher is proving to be a bit of an issue through these fights.
Yeah, I kind of still want him to go. Do I want him to go the Blink Dagger? I'm just trying to think of, outside of this Ember Spirit, who they are enabling with the Ink Swell, what is going to get Motivate.Trust to pop BKBs early? Because Overgrowth still has insane value this game. So if you can just, blink right on in, make sure you get them to use it to avoid the chain lockdown. Feels like it's going to go a long way towards a successful team fight. KNP's nearly finished up the Mjolnir, though. That's going to be pretty decent as well against the Phantom Lancer. Level 3 on the Rupture as well. So that extra little bit of movement damage, if he's able to find the right one.
Storm?
Devastating.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
It's bashes, man.
Yeah. Well, eyes on Roshan now. We've got second one available. Radiant have very good vision nearby. It's going to be important for Army Genius as a D-Ward. I imagine this is going to be the area of the map where we start to see our next couple of fights.
Actually didn't realize how low on levels Gacha Boy is at the moment. Not even level 15 just yet.
Deceptive.
You go for the smoke to make sure that you are still looking to play around Masteros. He does the Undevour before they're able to start the team fight, and they'll pick off for support, which is pretty important in the lead up to this Roche attempt.
Should reveal the ward on the high ground. They just need vision to be able to get rid of it. Tier 1 still mid, though, does offer them at least a location to be able to rally around for Army Geniuses, but they have the vision. Azura's not the easiest pick off, as Masteros just a bit too shy to be able to offer up the Doom control.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's one of those situations where you actually do need to be so sparing with your usage of the BKB. You can't just pop it super aggressively. If there's a team fight and, doesn't go too well for Motivate, and people are saying, where was the BKB usage? It's purely because of this Treant Protector and just how effective it's going to be at turning around these team fights, especially now that the BKBs are sitting at, 6 seconds across the board?
These are some huge items, though, for Dire. I think you just got hard on PL, Lotus Orb on Narman. So it's going to be much more difficult for them to execute. Gacha Boy, an aggressive zip, but the follow-up's not there. So that is now a BKB not available for Gacha Boy for this fight, and I feel like Army Genius instantly smoke up. They want to take it. Wami, who can they start to the northern side? They'll get rid of Tigger. Shaman's a lot of the control, and out to the backline, Wami, well, he's in an area where he can bounce back and forth. In fact, just wants to try and swashbuckle defensively. An overgrowth to hold them back, but KNP, they're cutting the Bloodseeker, so we can't really get much value out of this at the moment, as now they're swarming to his location. Bloodseeker's killed off. Now they're eyeing up Masteros as well. He might be able to BKB TP. He didn't go for the BKB. It didn't matter, though. Wami, of course, he has the Basher to cancel it. Recognize there may have been just a wasted usage of this.
Regeneration.
Gacha Boy, what was that? What are you doing diving in onto them? I can understand if the rest of the team had, for example, the Mass Serpent Wards dropped inside the Roche pit, they were taking it really quickly and you were just making space, but you essentially just ran into them and wasted your BKB and said, put up this giant flag saying, I can't teamfight anymore. The Genius is taking full advantage of the fact 4 heroes dead No heroes lost on your side, and Roshan going the way of Army Geniuses.
You've got Aghanim Shard as well with second Rosh, so who do you feel like is the carrier for the Shard? You've already got one on Wami and Variz.
Honestly, either DB or Azura are both perfectly fine for it, right? Doesn't have the Aether Lens yet, but as I say that, he actually puts it into his Quick Buy. Already buying the recipe component as well, just to have it sent out to him. So, be very nice. Just a way to poke and prod into these team fights there. Having the heart, too, is just going to be so impactful for making that illusion a little bit more survivable. Forced to drop the Mass Serpent Ward's bot, so not the highest value tower, especially this late-ish stage of the mid game.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
But I guess maybe
Really
just
don't feel like anyone needs to come and defend this though. Like your push
Radiant's
is
top
pretty
tower
terrible
is under
on
attack.
Motivate.Trust. Probably
Dire's
don't even need to
bottom
use the
tower
glyph,
is
right?
under attack.
The tier 2 tower is going to do
Radiant's
enough.
top tower
They could just
has
continue to
fallen.
put the pressure on again once
What'd I
more
miss?
saying we don't have Mass Serpent Wards. It's a lot harder for us to team fight, especially now that you've got the Kyra and Sanj on Azura.
Radiant's middle tower
He comes-
is
Gacha
under
boy,
attack.
did he cut the wave?
yeah, he cut
That
the
is a
wave
nice
mid.
Bottom tower is
choice.
under attack.
Okay, so he's done that. Don't think you can get through the back door, unfortunately. Army
Radiant's
Geniuses.
middle tower is under attack.
Gacha Boy's still gonna go for another wave top. They're gonna TP behind him as well. He's gonna eat the
BKB.
overgrowth. KB's out. Wami might have to get rid of the Rolling Thunder off for the bashes. He's
Where's
gonna
the
be in
swash?
range.
Swash. Ooh.
Oh, so close. Now bottom lane, Variz under the T2 tower. Got the vision and they have the control to cancel the TP. So Tigger and Leaf combining together to get a kill on a Grimstroke. Nothing crazy, but you'll take it, especially with delaying the ages.
Plus forcing out a Rolling Thunder, plus forcing out an Overgrowth. I'd say that Motivate.Trust pretty damn happy, even if it is that
Radiant's
next
middle
usage
tower
of the
is under
BKB
attack.
that they have on Storm Spirit. So I believe everyone's down to 6 seconds now on their BKB for Motivate.Trust. I have to wonder if this Bastion choice wasn't
Radiant's
something that they
middle
talked
tower
about at the
has
start,
fallen.
and it was more of a spur of the moment thing. Obviously, it's been really effective, but the talent choices from Wami is a little bit counterintuitive to it. We saw when no one was playing it in a bit more of that control-y style that he went for the swashbuckle slash range just so that you could catch out one of these more mobile heroes when they were looking to make those TPs out like we just saw. Imagine if he had the plus 400 range,
bottom
might have been
tower
able to
is under
swashbuckle
attack.
a second earlier, prevent him from getting away, and then convert that into a push with this Aegis. Could have been the thing that enables you to go in onto that high ground.
Yeah, it's also interesting because you went the Linken's route, which offers you kind of your... If you got mana issues, the
Dire's
Linken's
top
can often
tower
help
is
out
under
as...
attack.
By the dire triangle, Tigger's are going to run into the Grimstroke, but instantly Azura comes in the neighborhood, so KMP will have to BKB TP, and oh yeah, you have to kill on the Grimstroke. It's a 1 for 2. Again, I suppose you're delaying this Aegis push. You'd hate for Mastros to be killed off top, and it looks like that might be the case. Nama just needs to hold the overgrowth. And Mastros even going to make sure that's not a possibility. He tries to get the solo kill. He might...
I mean, you've still got the Basher.
You know, I mean, Mastros is going to go for a TP out now. Oh, but there you go. Instantly cancelled. So it's a trade, but yeah, Narman's is letting him know that the trade's not particularly worth it for Mastros.
Yeah, you lose a lot to get the support. They are delaying out the Aegis a little bit, but oh, gosh, boy, they'll be able to get away. Yeah, oddly enough, they used the swashbuckle. I can understand not wanting to run the threat of him just right-clicking you, but then he just waited for his BKB to run out, and all it took from Narman was a punch with that Aghanim shard, and he got rooted.
Radiant's
There
middle
was no
tower
way
is
for him to
under
get away.
attack.
Just a lot of this little decision-making is a little bit off from Motivate.Trust.
At least they are not out of it just yet. 14% probability for the lads on Motivate. Starting to move bottom to KMP's location, but he does have this Observer Wood scouting out, giving them that
Dire are
information.
scanning.
So he's going to be okay, but yeah, it's... Yeah, we're continuing to mention, like, yes, the Aegis is getting wasted, but also, like, Dire, they are also... They're getting a lot of farm, and they're getting their levels. DP He's already got Octarine completed. After that Roche, we were mentioning if he was going to go into the 8th lens. Well, he's even upgraded that. You know, Wami's going for his own Octarine, so they are getting very fun. I'm kind of surprised with Azura's net worth, honestly. He's 11, 0, and 14, level 20, but lower net worth than Gacha Boy.
Yeah, I think he's really just been trying to bully the Doom in particular, right? And Doom, you sure you might die a couple of times, but you'll have the Devour running.
Narman again scouting out. It's going to set up the route. A little bit too late with the overgrowth, though.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
This is the sort of thing that Azura is doing, though, right? He just looks to connect through onto the rest of the team. They don't have any Observer wards to perhaps put a Tinker ward there. As Tigger, he's looking to stay around this top side. Has to be careful with his life. Could end up just giving it away if he plays around the trees against a tree and protector. There we go.
Bro, Tigger. Narman might just solo kill the Shadow Shaman. Oh, he's gonna drop the overgrowth just to secure the kill. There you go. Nicely played from Narman. This will keep top lane now shoved out. This maybe gives him an opportunity to try and get some map control for Army Geniuses.
So they've waited out the Aegis at least. So that's a little bit of a win. I mean, the downside to that is PL only a level and a bit away from the level 25, and we know how impactful that can be. Even with the blood right now that you've got this heart, the Octarine core providing a good amount of HP as well. Sanjin Kaya, of course, for all the strength that it provides you. PL Illusions aren't going to drop down too easily. And going into the link.
Lane, Wami. He's going for Masaros. Defensive swap. They're really just trying to keep them outside the map, but it looks like Wami still has plenty of usage out of this ultimate, so he's back into top. He's got to be cautious how long he sticks around. Makes it... Oh, he doesn't even make it down to the low ground, but maybe they're just trying to bait to force a fight. Mastros jumping to the back, but it's a Doom expended onto it. Grimstroke, so Mastros has to TP out. Now, we will be able to do so successfully. They don't have a cancel. I don't know if Daya can stick around, though.
We saw Gacha Boy get a solo kill, I believe, onto the Tree and Protector, so Armin had to buy back to be able to rejoin this team fight.
Gamebeef might be in trouble. Look at DB. He's going out of the tier 4 towers. Chucking out the Lances left, right, and Senai Zero soon to follow. They need a way to be able to get rid of the shackles. They don't have an answer to it at the moment, but a great timing. Doppelganger keeping DB alive, and now you see the heart regen starting to tick in. Can they still prioritize down the Phantom Lancer once again? He's eluding the control, eluding the damage, so they'll just turn to the Ember instead. Azura's gone beyond godlike streak, given over to Leaf, and now they're looking to catch up.
Tier 3s? Why are you diving tier 4s? There's no need to do it. You don't have two heroes on your side. You expended buyback. You expended all these long cooldowns. I can understand feeling confident, but this just seems crazy.
It's almost like they're getting a bit restless with this game. It's always frustrating when you have an 8.
PL was half a level away from 25, man. Imagine if he had 25.
It honestly...
Now he's got it.
What was expended prior? Really just avenged Tree and Protector buyback, but I think that was in previous fights, so... nothing crazy. Still an 8,000 net worth lead for Dai, but... Yeah, Radiant are doing a good job to claw their way back into this game.
Aegis, that's the next key objective, though. 15 seconds away. No buyback available on your Tree and Protector.
Are they going to go for DB? Or maybe Varize? Or even Narman? Okay.
That'd be a dieback.
Yeah, that's going to be a dieback on Narman. 105 seconds. They have the ward that's going to see DB as well. Oh, Wami is onto the Bloodseeker, though. Okay, beautifully done. It's a lot of damage with the Phantom Lancer illusions. So KMP is going to be forced to BKB and Satanic out. DB, Rupture soon to expire. So Gacha Boy is just going to look to prioritize the Grimstroke, but they don't have detection. Down the river, Tigger. Serpent wards, Masteros, Doom's up in a couple of seconds. Azura's going to follow up as well. Can you get a Doom target, though? The Soulbind proving to be an issue at the moment. They're going to be forced to use it, chucking it out on Azura. So Mastros can easily chase down the Ember Spirit simultaneously. It's a mano in mano as DB trying to stand his ground against KMP. The Phantom Lancer, they don't have the resources. They don't have the ways to kill off the Phantom. DB's doing it all by himself as KP, just beating onto the
You can't
illusions.
fight this.
But look at DB, yeah, with the Mjolnir. He didn't even use the active. KP was just shredding them apart.
I wonder who would win that eventually. Just a pure unmanned fight at this stage of the game. Bloodseeker and Phantom Lancer just hitting each other constantly.
Dire's middle tower.
I'd honestly say the Bloodseeker at this stage. Just attacking so fast. You're getting your HP back from killing the illusions. Mjolnir, haven't even talked about that. No one's able to take advantage of the Roshan respawning.
It's now down to a
hitting up delivers level 25 as well. So he might have a way to be able to deal with this Pangolier now. Honestly, even just committing double rupture on top of him.
Oh boy, DB, is this a Bloodthorn? Okay, Jesus. Just why not just buy the entire item out?
Okay, I mean, needs no buyback for yourself, but go off, man.
Astros is closing in on his double doom as well. Just needing the recipe component for the refresher.
He's bottom, and Azura's going to be the one that scouts it out. Does feel like attain the vision game is the name of the play right now. Just a solo roach. I mean, what's the vision look like at the moment for Motivate.Trust? I don't believe they saw that, other than actually, never mind, the Nature's Grasp ended up giving it away.
There you go. Gem pick up on Varese. I look to try and take rid of some of the vision that Motivate are playing with, but gonna have a smoke on smoke. Still Doom on cooldown for another 14.
There is going to be playing a little bit more of this. I don't think you can afford to full-on dive in anymore. Like, he's got the Enchanted Quiver. It's a lot of that, I don't want to say unknown damage, but unexpected damage coming from the backlines. Maybe a full wraparound DB. His smoke pops, they know exactly where they are, farming in the small camp.
They might shove the lanes in, though, to force them to react. Like, someone's going to have to break formation then if that's the case. They want to do the other wraparound instead.
Love it. You need to smoke again. I mean, I suppose you've got the ninja gear available on the PL. Did they smoke under vision? No, it wasn't quite reaching. One in the river. Oh, gotcha, boy. You don't want to be the one that gets caught out here.
One is going to try it. One is going to try it. Gotcha, boy. This is greedy! Oh, it's greedy! Oh, he's got a buyback at least, but no instantly army geniuses that can capitalize on the mistake. Beelining to the triangle as Motivate just have to vacate away, but this now opens up the pit.
That feels like one of those mistakes that you only make once, just because it's going to provide you with that context, right? Okay, I'm never going to just TP out in the middle of the lane again. Always going to at least go back to the tree line as haste. Gets popped here. Looking to try and make space for the PL to finish up this Roshan. They really don't want to use the buyback on Storm Spirit, just because, again, the tower push, it's better now that the PL is insanely farmed, but it's still not amazing, right? So if you can have a Storm Spirit with buyback, able to rejoin a team fight with that, just makes defending your high ground around that fountain just so much more effective.
Alright, we got Refresher Shard on the Ember, along with the Cheese, and Ages on the Phantom Lancer. They did show PL bottom. They have to be a bit cautious now on Army Geniuses. Masros, Smoke's gonna pop in the Ninja Gear, jumps to the back line. Oh, nice initial Dune on Masros, so just a bit too late to protect with the Lotus Orb. And he's got these Infernal Blades continuing to rain down, but Wommy and the Resistance have shown up. They're still going to get the kill on Azura. Mastros popped to Refresher, has got the second round to work with, but they've got to be cautious. Soul by unleashing them both together. But the BKB protecting for the moment. DB against the world, and he's not going to try and take that fight.
3 for 1 with a buyback being used on the Storm Spirit. That's the sort of situation where it's kind of worth it to do it. You know, he was able to rejoin very quickly to the rest of his team, have a high level of impact. So the push is going to be stalled. You still got the Aegis, I suppose, on DB. Maybe, he's actually got the Refresher, never mind, on the Doom. So be careful of not feeling a little bit too ambitious in being able to push forward. They'll see it, though. They'll see that Masros has the Refresher available. And I wonder what he's gonna want to go for. Does he go for cleave on this
Yeah,
Doom?
they're
Just
trying
because
top.
you're against it?
Masteros, the BKB, yeah, it's still on cooldown, so it'll be killed off. 100 seconds on the deck without a buyback, and everyone else is under a ward, so maybe they're going to instantly move to Radiant's Triangle to take another fight.
I'd say so. They're going to go for this move with the Ninja Gear, at least, on DB to try and catch someone out. They see the full Scythe finished up as well from the Storm Spirit. Luckily enough, Gacha Boy doesn't get that taken away as well. Still looking to hunt. Doesn't look like he'll be able to find anyone, though. Went for the Infernal Blade damage. It is a lot. I was considering maybe the cleave. It's not like you're right-clicking all that much, though, in these engagements. Forcing TPs across the map is Tigger. We need to TP away.
Oh. It's it. Thank you, Slacks. It's a good voice line. Definitely top tier. Gotta spam it out at the perfect timing, though. There's some good times, some bad times. Just gets a
Boy
double.
can't really afford to shove out, excuse me, this mid lane anymore, though. They've got the glyph, be able to do so. Ooh, has to be very careful. He bought back and just used the TP previously.
Structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Trying to use those illusions to protect your own creep wave, and it'll at least be enough to prevent the backdoor protection for the next little bit. Ooh, look at that, just predicting where Storm Spirit was looking to try and finish up. You can see Wommy, he's protecting the creep wave. He's got his finger on the swashbuckle right there and ready.
Whoa, what I
Will he do it again?
Has fallen.
No, yeah, so he preemptively used the swashbuckle that time.
Radiant's middle
Just that
barracks
threat
has
means that they're
fallen.
still able to get this lane of racks. Now with Doom back available, though,
Radiant's bottom tower
this is the
is
smoke
under
solo.
attack.
I'm over here.
You might have
that
to...
wrap around.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You might have to smoke around.
I mean, look at where Venge is drawing on the map, saying, look, we need to try and get around onto them, but even then, they're going to have the vision advantage with that clipboard.
Nice
Just
double.
stand behind this PL.
They wanted to go on that attempt. You saw Mastros kind of revealed his positioning.
Radiant's bottom
They got the X on the
tower
real
has
one.
fallen.
Mastros a bit hesitant to jump on DB, however.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
So that's actually a really cool thing as well with the Venge and the Aghanim Shard. Given that the Magic Missile is going to prioritize heroes, so you could just use it onto an illusion and it will bounce to the real PL.
Second full set of barracks claimed, and you see how difficult it is. Maybe now they got the Blood Right Silence, but no, DB's okay. Second full set of barracks. Oh, DB's actually going in under the T4 towers, maybe getting rid of the Shaman's life. Great use of the Phantom Rush to
Radiant's
get out of
top tower
harm's
is
way.
under attack.
He's also got nearly 8,000 gold on this PL. Not that you want to be buying anything at this stage, but can't just make it full usage out of this Aegis. Another 30 seconds left on it. You've already got 2 lanes of racks.
Nalman's
Boy
gonna
needs
be.
to buy this
Nalman's
Aghanim's
gonna pop the
Blessing.
smoke. Mastros forced to use the first Doom onto the Tree Protector. Let's see where round 2 is gonna come into play here for the Doom. DB's in the middle of the fight, but the Soulbind leashing together. Gacha Boy, a defensive swap, but they're still on top of the Storm Spirit on the right side. He gets a zip out at the last second. But now it's still with the Vengeful Spirit. They're unable to deal with DB. They can't deal with Azura as well. So has this Doom to play with. Masteros. Can he find the angle? He's going to jump Naaman again, but that's not the target. That's not the Doom target you want to be prioritizing. DB's into the middle, onto KMP. KMP can't really stand his ground. The men are starting to drain along with the health ball. KMP, he'll lose the man fight. He's got a buyback, but DB. Oh man, they don't have an answer to the Phantom Lancer. He is doing God's work in this game. Mastros still in the middle. He used the Doom. They didn't get anything out of it. And DB continuing to reign supreme, or maybe not. The control is there. He doesn't have the Aegis, but the Ink Swallow,
no.
it's enough, DB. Starting to get some health back. Soulbind leashing them together. DB, look at him playing with fire. But the Phantom Lancer's out of there, out of harm's way. Such a heavy commitment from Motivate. They want to go back in. A long zip from Gacha Boy. Can they get onto the DB? Phantom Lancer once again. He's playing with his own illusions. Mastros jumps, but what was that? DB. Dude, what a use of the doppelganger. Now he's back in onto Gacha Boy. Bloodthorn's out. He'll
Game.
dispel at the last second. Okay.
Oh, never
All right,
mind.
beautifully done. The AoE Vortex. KMP's got the cleanup crew. One more swipe is enough to get the kill. But man, that was such a long and such a costly fight.
How many buybacks have we got left? Just 3 in this game. Pango, Ember Spirit, and PL. So you're going to still feel pretty okay with how things turned out. You got the 2 full lanes of racks. You got the tier 3 tower. Yes, they were able to miraculously come back, but it kind of felt like it was
Dire's middle
what, like
tower
a
is under
10
attack.
v5 as opposed to a full 5-on-5.
Over here now. Precious bounty.
Well, that was that was quite a fight. I didn't see what happened to the PL ages. I think it ticked out.
It ticked out, yeah.
Um,
Honestly, like a minute earlier than his death, it ticked out. That's how long the fight was going for. Hey, we finally get the Blink Dagger. Let's go.
and the Lincoln's on the Ember. So now you have at least some way to protect yourself through the Doom, but it is a 2 full sets of barracks advantage on Army Geniuses, which still only gives them a 12,000 net worth advantage, so nothing crazy for Dire.
To say, what do you even buy with this much money on a PL? And it looks like he might be trying to sell the power treads and go into the Swift Blink for himself.
Invisibility.
Don't hate it.
Is close to level 30 as well, so it's going to have the critical strikes coming through. But what is the gameplay for Motivate? Like, how do you find a window back into this game?
Have a look back and see who bought back. I mean, Narman did previously. That's about it. So, I guess the Grimstroke did as well. So remove the supports. It feels like the Inkswell plus the Soulbind are doing a lot in a lot of these engagements. So if Faris is able to die, if you're able to freely use your own BKBs without the threat of the Overgrowth, you only really need to worry about the Pangolier, with the Swashbuckle and the Basher coming through. I feel like that's probably the way you want to start these team fights and just leave PL for last. I know it's a scary prospect because he's going to rip apart your team if you do that, but the situation that you're in at the moment.
We got some big items. Aeon Disc on the Grimstroke. You just spoke about the importance of this hero, and DB actually bought for the Abyssal Blade instead of the Swift Blink.
Hey, just wanting that extra little bit of lockdown. It's got 4 ruptures now with this refresher.
Alright, they got the rupture on the real PL. Wait, this is huge. This is huge. DB's in trouble. Along's in from God's way. No way. Look at the vortex. Oh my. Wommy's in trouble as well. They used the Doom. Oh no, they don't. He actually pump faked on Mastros. So no Doom's expended for that fight. What was that?
That's what happens when you can finally catch the real PL, I suppose.
And Roche is up.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah, Roche
has
is
fallen.
up. It's got everything on it as well. The biggest sheep I've ever seen. What can we look to get through? I mean, you would have to assume that it's the refresher shard going over to the Doom. Who even gets Ags at this stage? I mean, the Venge, I guess. It's not a Blood Mist game. I don't think I've seen any Blood Mist game exist.
Yeah. No, I do not know. You could give it to Doom.
Nah, give it to Venge. What are you breaking?
That is true. Duration might be nice, but yeah, no, really, you're right. What are you breaking? Nothing crazy. Yeah, all right. Now you got the Venjags, which could prove to be a bit of a nuisance. Look at Mastros hunting.
The additional swap. Matt, looking at the map, without taking the context of anything into account, is there any scenario where you would see Motivate having that 1k net worth lead? Because I couldn't. It's actually dead on 50-50 as well.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, just after that tower.
And again, every game is 50-50. One wins sides or the other does.
No.
You will like it. And
Oh,
now, I mean, Army Geniuses, they're cooped up inside their own base. They're scared for the first time. They get a lot of objectives. I mean, it was just a 1k net worth lead, and it's already ballooned out to 4.
Leaf, prime position to be able to pop the smoke. Keep in mind, he
That
just got
second
the
life,
Scepter.
Not the worst.
Wami's going to zip to the south onto KMP. He has the Aegis, but they're going to easily go through the first life. How can they set themselves up for round 2? It's going to be on Mastros to turn it. Eyes on the Doom. He needs some big ultimates. Early BKB usage from KMP is going to look to stand his ground. They're in, but the Remnant. Oh, Azura beautifully timed. Just looking to retreat. Motivate, they want nothing to do with this team fight now. Army Geniuses.
Top tower is under attack.
Wants to hold that buyback. I mean, he's got enough to be able to have the refresher for himself. He's got his, the Perseverance is just sitting inside the base. Storm Spirit just needs to play around that buyback, though. It's the most valuable resource that you can have at 52 minutes in. Oh, we have reached that level 3 on the Phantom Lancer, so he's going to have a lot of that additional damage looking to come out there.
Yeah, he even wants the Lincolns next. You're going to be a bit slot dependent, my guy DB. I don't particularly know what he drops as well. Is it Fusel? Sanjinyasha? I don't know. Sanjinyasha is nice, especially with a heart. A game where you like some status resistance. It definitely is one of the more broken things.
Yeah, good question, actually. I'm not sure what he looks to get rid of at this stage.
Look at Masros just cutting lanes. Got Ninja Gear, Scorch Earth, just Shivas. So they've got kind of issues with the creep waves at the moment. Mid lane's the only pushed in at the moment. Well, they're in actually. KMP might be in trouble. Nice defensive swap. It's going to get KMP out of harm's way. You got to be cautious if you group up though. The decent Vortex, nothing crazy. But the main thing is you keep KMP alive.
Keep KMP alive, but the important thing for Army Geniuses as well is that they didn't use the BKB either. They didn't get antsy. They didn't feel like it was the team fight that they needed to commit everything onto. I'm sure that's what Storm Spirit was looking to try and obtain, right? That little bit of an advantage just to be able to go in and get another one of those great AoE electric vortexes off. It's gone full roleplay, having the Stormcrafter as well.
Look how defensive they're playing as well. Just right next to the tier 4 towers, even a little bit behind on Motivate. Just really worried about Army Geniuses trying to enter inside their base and take a fight when they have their pants down.
Wonder what Narman will opt to go for at level 25 as well. I mean, with the effect of that AoE electric vortex, it might even be the situation where you go for the AoE living armor, right? As long as you're not caught inside that initiation. It's a lot of bonus armor and HP regen to be able to provide to your entire team.
They're smoking out. Leaf leading the charge.
Narman's not with him.
They're going to get the information. They know where Varese is. Important to be able to kill off. Aeont is protected off to the right side. Masteros, the Doom. They're able to run into Azura. That's enough to get rid of the first life. They can buy back if need be. They have the outpost at TP2, but it looks like Army Geniuses trying to get out of the area as best as they can. Oh, Mastros used second Doom on the Lincoln, so Wami was able to TP out.
Unfortunate. They're not forced to buy back, though. All the lanes are pretty shoved in. I mean, you've even got this 55-minute siege creep wave that you need to deal with. So it just feels like you're using a lot. And honestly, yeah, what you were mentioning before, the refresher Doom.
Poor Tigger, man. Goddamn illusion.
That refresher Doom is a pretty big timing, right? Like, to not have Doom, and you know they don't have Doom for a minute once you respawn, this is the time for Army Geniuses to really look to try and emphasize their pushing
Speaking
potential.
about the Doom, the opportunity to pop the BKB.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. Maybe, you know, considering Pango is level 27, so he has the lower Rolling Thunder cooldown. It's not too bad, right? He's going to have it back up when the other two are respawning, so rightly enough, Gacha Boy putting the prioritization on keeping these lanes pushed out if he can reach his level 30 as well. Just makes that high ground offense a little bit harder for Army Geniuses.
92.
One last zip.
Oh, Tigger runs straight into DB. Once again, another defensive swap. But DB's onto Mastros. Warstorm's going to buy him a little bit of time. Without the Vortex control, the Phantom Lancer, they don't seem to have the ways to deal with him at the moment. Womi's going to charge into the middle, but they have gotten rid of the illusions, and now DB's in trouble. They've ruptured up the real PL. He's got a buyback, but still Motivate. They are showing that they have some ways to deal with him at this stage in the game.
I feel like they've got ways to deal with him if you just walk outside of the base like that. There's no reason to be out there in a 3v5 situation when your Ember Spirit and your Grimstroke were so close to reviving. Like, what's the point? Just wait it out. Does a PL really need more than 11,000 gold sitting in his bank right now? I'd say probably not.
It's just a contestation of who has the most gold, though. Come on. Your KMP is about 2,300 behind.
Cause are out of control, man.
Leave. Should be killed off, of course. See what the Scepter's going to be able to do. He's got the gem as well, but that's going to be dropped on the deck. And now Wami. Oh, nice swap. They cancelled the TP.
Mastros just like they're cheating a little bit, to be honest. Yeah, he was able to get the blink away. Did Mastros really not see it? Maybe just feeling like they didn't have the damage to be able to follow up onto that? I don't know.
I think he was glimmered on Wami.
Invisibility.
And they just lost the gem as well. Azure. Oh, okay. Tigger has one. Oh, Mastros is in. What a Warstorm. Double Lincolns. Azura, what a play. Wami gave over his own Lincolns to Azura. And now they're going to be forced back. Wami jumps in the middle once again. A defensive use, but Tigger, or he could be the X Factor. Controlling Azura. Zips back in. PL's up in 10, though. You can't stick around for too long.
Dire's middle tower is
The
under
Great
read.
prospect, especially with the Shadow Shaman being so low on mana.
Azura's going to jump.
A little bit more challenging.
He's got to be cautious. One Lincoln's popped. Mastros doesn't want to use the refresher, and DB, well, he's on KMP. They bought back on Pango, so it looks like Radiant Executive Call just to retreat. They don't want to stick around.
I was wondering if they might try and kite out that Vengeful Spirit until the death timer was fully up. Wami just going to use the Rolling Thunder to try and catch any stragglers as well as check the Roshan in 30 seconds. Feels like a pretty big deal. I mean, you had to use the buyback on Wami. Honestly, at this stage, almost worth giving him the Aegis just because it provides him with that extra life. Past him, maybe the Ember Spirit is the other one just because he has been the main focus from a lot of these early engagements.
I mean, we're about to have tier 5 neutral items as well. We are 30 seconds away from 60 minutes.
So, when the win probability was 51% for Motivate.Trust, they had a 1k net worth lead. And now that they have a 13k net worth lead, or a 12k, they have less win probability.
Yeah.
Now you explain that to me.
I don't know. Gaben works in mysterious ways, as Wami unfortunately not going to catch up the Storm Spirit doing his zipping shenanigans. I'm a bit
2 minutes.
Wami actually jumps, maybe trying to force out a BKB. They're not going to heavily
Very
commit.
careful. What?
Gotcha Boy, it's a beautiful double vortex. Initial hex is out. Can they be able to protect the Ember? Gotcha Boy pops a refresher
Tango,
for
you
the
walk
second
back.
vortex. Azura is still not dead just yet. Narman's gonna hold them back. A beautiful overgrowth. Now DB's in the middle to Phantom Lancer, ripping apart number after number. To the northern side, they're still in trouble. A further zip trying to gap close, but Gotcha Boy doesn't run into anyone. Maybe Varese, but the stuns, maybe not even vision, were lacking. 3 buybacks, Shaman, Storm, and Bloodseeker.
Holy crap, Wobby, I was saying you are insane, my man, just looking to stay in the middle of things. He was on 10% HP for literally 15 seconds, with both Doom and Storm Spirit eventually chasing him, and he still survives just through being able to use his spells effectively. Oh man, what a player. 3 buybacks expended though on Motivate.
I see the PL. What is that? Well, what? Are they trying to be
Are
like?
they saying that he can't even see his real hero, like even his teammates? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it's next level brain where they're trying to be like, have you got a ward top? Are you trying to?
I mean, I can see him, right?
Yeah, I can see him too. I don't know what's going on.
Well, he's got an Apex as well.
I see what they. Okay, I don't know.
I mean, he's just... Oh, you
Yeah.
mean it's going to reveal the real one?
Oh, no.
I wonder if... I
It's
think
so
it's
hard
gone.
to tell. No, it's still there.
Oh, no, it's still there. I wonder if he tries to get stunned or rooted by something, you know, just to try and maybe refresh it.
Oh, well, they're going to try and fight, though. Roshan's up. Can you check neutral items? Anything crazy?
We got a pirate head, we got the Apex, Book of the Dead, Seer Stone. Who got the Seer Stone? Treant. Very nice, especially around Roche when vision is such a key tool.
DB, smoke's gonna
has-
pop.
Oh.
Trying to with the Necros. Oh, did he see Mastros? He could be slow cooldown for the
He
Doom
is
at the
one of
moment.
few that has buyback.
Limmer's gonna try and protect him. The Duke can further, closer to the base. Motivate can't take this fight at the moment with the position they're in, but they're gonna jump once again. They're onto the Ember Spirit. Lotus Orb protecting for Azura for the moment. Mastros is hesitant to be able to drop the
He's
Doom, and now
on.
with the double Abyssal. Oh, what a soulbind combination. As DB's chasing for more further, he goes into the territory of Motivate.
What an overgrowth.
Taking numbers as his overgrowth stops the retreat. The buybacks are lacking. The health pool is starting to be crumbled as DB... They don't have an answer to this fight through the Phantom Lancer. Triple kill, 2 diebacks. And I think finally that's all she wrote is Mastros. He's got a Doom, but he won't have an opportunity to use it. Ultra for
wants the
DB. You may
rampage.
as well give him the Rampage. Go inside the Fountain, my friend. Rampage to end the game. Give him a double Rampage. Even a triple DB. What a Phantom Lancer showing. A 62-minute triple Rampage for the Phantom Lancer will end our second game. And Army Geniuses will take the series 2-0.
Radiant's middle
Very,
tower
very
is
nicely
under
done.
attack.
Has to be considered player of the series, right? Got that great Phantom Assassin game, and now the Phantom Lancer in game number 2. It was nail-biting stuff, right? Lots of little mistakes coming through from Panic in the late stages, but it was Army Geniuses that was able to take better advantage of it.
Poor. Dude, what a crazy game. We didn't really get... There wasn't too much crazy value out of the tier 5s. I mean, definitely having Apex on a PL is something you would love. And we see DB about 2,200 damage away from having 100,000 damage in a game like that.
Pretty devastating. Numan didn't have a neutral item at the end, and Wami's holding onto a pirate hat. Not sure that's the greatest value, but I suppose if you're able to get in on top of someone with the Abyssal Blade and the Basher, it does make a bit of a difference there. But it really did feel like Army Geniuses were the better team the entire series. You know, there were a couple of really clutch plays coming through from Motivate.Trust to bring it back, but particularly early on, they understood the timings that they needed to play around. They understood that they could bully the Storm Spirits super early on into the piece, and there were a few times where there were a few too many buybacks expended by Motivate.Trust for not too much gain. So even though they took it right up to the end, it's going to be Army Geniuses getting that valuable 2-0. So with all the 1-1s previously, any chance that you can get to set yourself apart from the pack is going to be so beneficial.
Yeah, and they're playing the next series as well, which is going to be exciting for Army Geniuses. And this is an awesome one. I mean, we just saw how exciting the first series was going to be, taking that 2-0, 60-minute game 2. And now they have to verse RSG, which is... They're in much better shape than what they were when they played RSG at the start of 2-2. And with the form that we just saw them, you know, so it's going to be a bit of a break. I will double check how long it's going to be. So about 20-minute
20
break in between this one. But yeah, next series is going to be just as exciting. RSG taking on Army Geniuses. Stick around.